So you want me to talk about Lyme disease?
Yeah.
Oh, man. It gives me flashbacks even thinking about it. 72 hours and I can't fall asleep and I'm sick, man, and I don't want to eat anything. If I try to stand up, I feel awful. I thought I was going to pass away in my sleep. I'm on the corner of my bed and I go, Father, I am not asking for this to go away. I want a relationship with you. I want to know you. Woke up that next day and then everything changed. Episode 4. I can't believe we're actually already here.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like time is going by, like, stupid quick.
It is. Well, I heard something from Alex Hormozy. I don't know how true this is. I didn't check the source on this. I didn't fact check them. Okay. But apparently, as I've told you before, like 10% of podcasts actually get to their, like, 4th episode. And then 1% get to episode 20. So technically, we're better than 90% of podcasts out there. Yeah, no, just on the basis that, like, we didn't quit.
Technically, we're what? Well, with the 5th episode, we'll be 4%, right? Because if 1% is 20 episodes,
no, 10%. Well, it works on like a curve.
Right.
Like a curve. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I don't know what the breakdown is, but that's the thing too. Everybody was always telling me, oh, you can't get into the... Or not everybody, but some people were like, oh, it's so saturated. It's not going to blow up, dude. Everyone and their grandmother starts a podcast. I had people ragging on me for it.
It's good. It's like... That's a good thing.
Yeah, but it's like... The idea of saturation, it's kind of a myth to an extent. And I know we're saying this with 20 subscribers. but at the same time, like... We started like a month ago. We have... I think well over 10K views, maybe 20K across all platforms.
So we have 15K views on YouTube alone.
TikTok was about the same. TikTok's bigger, I think.
Yeah.
So we have at least 30K views in a month.
And then Instagram's a different story. Instagram sucks.
Instagram's pretty whack.
Yeah.
But I mean, and technically we released our first episode a few weeks ago. So I mean, we literally have like pretty much 30K views in 3 weeks. So 10K views a week since we started.
Yeah, long form's not doing too well though.
Yeah, but that'll change. Really, the reason people don't make it is because they quit. They quit way too early.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see what episode 20 will look like.
Episode 20 is going to be a banger.
Episode 20 is going to be fire. We have to have a really good guest on for episode 20.
We should,
Episode 20 will be when? Probably what? Did we say like February or something like that?
I think like January.
Episode 20 will be flying out to somebody. Or they'll be flying here.
Oh, yeah.
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 Which isn't even that long.
Yeah, for sure.
The Ella Malding episode would be episode 20.
We really got to get her on the show.
Yeah, like before then, actually. If you're watching this, we'd love to have you on the show. We think you'd be a really good guest.
Yeah. Definitely be flying out for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, no, you grew up in the South too. You'll relate to the culture very well.
Yeah, right. Where's she from?
I think Mississippi.
Mississippi. Okay. Yeah.
I feel like that'd be a really, really good conversation.
Oh yeah, man. It would help a lot of people, I think.
Yeah.
Coming from her perspective, it would be a little bit different, which is why I think it would be better.
Yeah.
Especially for a lot of guys like that know her already, you know?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. But speaking of the South, I don't think we've talked too much about what life was like growing up in SC.
Well, I didn't technically grow up in SC because I was in Massachusetts for the first 9. And then from 9...
And you were in Martha's Vineyard, right?
Yeah, so from 9 to 18, I was in the South. No. It actually wasn't like that.
It was back when you could afford, back when the average person could like afford to live there?
Well, actually not even. It was bad there. It was, there's a side of that island that you don't really see, man. Like, obviously you have the extremely wealthy, like it's good. It's a good thing. And then you have people that are working all the time to live there. Yeah. And at one point it wasn't like that. Like at one point it was, like everything has gone up, but yeah, it has probably 10x'd instead of maybe like 3 there. And it's done by design, but it's a beautiful place. I know that you wanted to maybe go into
Yeah.
So yeah,
we got some pretty cool guests that we could talk to on the island.
Yeah. I had a crazy experience 2 years ago when I went back there. Was what kind of caused probably the prompt to this video's main message. I guess we're gonna be going over my testimony, man.
Before we do that, I kind of want to back up a little bit.
Okay.
I want to talk about what was your life like leading up to that. I know you alluded to this on the second episode we did, which was you mentioned that you were mixed up with the wrong people, doing the wrong things. I think you had somewhat of a background when it came to church, and something kind of happened along the way that led into a lifestyle that you, I guess, kind of regret now.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. So when I would say growing up, I was like always a big time athlete. Playing hockey was like that was life.
Yeah.
And then around probably about 15, I kind of changed a little bit. Yeah, I'll just be open about it. I got into, I guess I got I got put in the wrong crowd. I wouldn't say the wrong crowd. It was we were all doing the wrong things.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys I know today that like, I love them as brothers. If you're watching this, like, I love you guys. But we did start doing some things that ultimately led to a lot of issues that I had. So to backtrack before that, yeah, man, I was in the wrong crowd. I started smoking a lot, man. I did. I started smoking a lot. Like all the time, constant use.
Like you can't have a good time without getting a little baked.
Yeah,
basically.
And that was starting to get me like kind of really claw at me, man. I was like, dude,
yeah,
why do I not want to eat without being baked?
That's terrible, dude.
Yeah. But it wasn't like that for long, man. And God pulled me out of that. He just did it in the most brutal way possible. Not the most brutal way possible, but for me, it was pretty bad. So you want me to talk about Lyme disease?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is actually, the timing of this episode, this was totally unintended. We actually were supposed to have a guest on, but something came up last minute. And then just today, we found out that one of our inspirations, Chris Williamson, has apparently had an ongoing struggle with Lyme disease. So it's been kind of a crazy timing that we're talking about this now.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, can you just kind of tell me what happened the first time you started to feel the symptoms where, obviously you got bit by a tick. I assume that's how it started. I'm sure you had no idea that it would lead to something like this. What was the moment where you felt like something's not right for the first time?
So I had, and I was still smoking a bunch. I was playing in a band then. So it kind of came with the territory, man, Really got into playing guitar big time. But always in the back of my mind, I knew that I was like, this isn't who I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
This is not what I'm supposed to be doing, but I kept doing it anyway.
And was that like the lifestyle, or were you physically feeling something was wrong with your body?
No, before that I didn't feel anything, man. I felt...
Okay. It was like a conviction.
Yeah, it was totally. It was, it was slight, but it was there. And I knew, like, I got to get off of this.
Yeah.
I got to, because I knew I'm destined to do more with my life than this. And it makes you lazy, man, right? Like, it does. That type of stuff makes you lazy. Like, I didn't do anything. I didn't really drink that much at all. I, very, here and there. But I was smoking a bunch. Not like, like we're talking about weed here. Nothing like, no, absolutely not.
Cigarettes are nasty, dude.
Yeah, no, I've never touched a vape in my life, but... You
go downtown, it's like everywhere, dude. Yeah. Everywhere you go, you smell it. It's so bad.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've actually tried to never touch, because it's just like, it's addicting, man. It's Chinese chemicals, but...
Vapes are even worse. The stuff they put in those pods are crazy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've heard it's like worse than cigarettes.
No, they're terrible. And they get banned. Like, the companies get banned, and then they just make a new company. It's like, okay, well, you're putting the same stuff that Chinese company just got banned for by our own government. So it's got to be really freaking bad if they're gonna ban it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we got like red 40 in our foods.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they took so long to ban that, can't even imagine what's in cigarettes.
No, it's terrible.
And jewel pods. But anyway, man, sorry, you go ahead. I cut you off. When you were talking about you were playing in a band, smoking a lot of weed, and you were getting to the point where you knew something was wrong with your life. Not quite physically yet, but you could just tell, I guess, sort of spiritually, you felt like you were not in the right place.
Yeah, man.
What happened at that point?
Absolutely. So we took a trip to Martha's Vineyard to go back home. Mm-hmm. I had Lyme disease before this. So I had Lyme disease when I was a kid. We took that trip. I remember we walked through these big trails, and if you don't know, like, Martha's Vineyard is covered with ticks. They have a crisis. So everybody on the vineyard that's local has Lyme disease, I think they've said. Not everybody, but it's probably like 98%.
That's crazy.
And there's different strains of it. Mm-hmm. Some just give you kind of like flu symptoms. You feel weak. You're lucky if you get that version.
And I'm not too familiar with Lyme disease. Is this like something you deal with your whole life?
Yeah, so it actually never technically goes away. Oh. It will lay dormant in you. And what I heard is when you get bit by a second time, those cells that were from it, they just regrow because that same bacteria gets in it and just grows like wildfire. And that didn't help me.
Can it be fatal?
Oh yeah, man. There's people that die from it, dude. Jeez. And we'll get into it. There's different strains like literally make people crazy. Yeah, it makes you crazy. But anyway, yeah. So I went to the vineyard. I got bit. I remember seeing a tick on me. And then we got home. A week passes. And I see like a little bite mark in my ear. Wasn't too sure what it was. And I'm still partaking in, smoking, doing that type of thing. Pretty much everyday use. Not everyday use, but it was close to that. And I remember the first set off, man, it was probably 3 days after being home. I decided to smoke a little bit, tried to go to sleep, and what set this thing off, man, was I could not fall asleep. So I would try to fall asleep, and then my whole body would like flinch as soon as I would fall asleep. And I didn't know what it was, and
it's like when you feel like you're falling, that type of thing.
And I didn't figure out what it was for like a year. But that set it off, and I didn't sleep that night. I was like, all right, what's going on here? And then I started getting a lot of anxiety. Quick, dude. Woke up that next day, and then everything changed, dude. I felt like I was extremely intoxicated, but I wasn't. And I would feel like in this state of like vertigo. If anybody's ever had vertigo, never had it before, but I had it then, but it didn't go away. And I was freaking out. Next day passed, didn't get any sleep. So I'm 2 days out any sleep, and it's miserable because I'm trying to sleep and I freaking can't, bro. Like I literally cannot.
What is this, like 72 hours at this point? By the end of that day?
So this is 2 days at this point.
Okay.
Oh man, it gives me flashbacks even thinking about it. And that would mark the battle of like a year and a half. Obviously, when this started to happen, I stopped what I was doing. Stopped smoking. Didn't touch anything at all. And that was the only thing I was doing, but I didn't touch that anymore. And bro, I can't describe it, what it was like, but I remember third day in, I remember sitting on my bed, wondering what is happening to me. And this may sound crazy. I honestly can't put into words what it felt like. But I remember sitting on my bed, and the ceiling and the wall are coming in like this. And then I remember, and I don't know how long this lasted, but I remember looking at myself on my bed.
Like you could see yourself.
Like I could see myself
from above.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see myself on my bed, laying there looking at myself, and I thought I died.
So it was like an out-of-body experience.
100%.
That's crazy.
And if, yeah, you can ask my grandma, dude, that was when I got her. I was like, I need to go to the hospital. Like, I'm going crazy. I'm going freaking crazy. And then I went to sleep, man. Finally got some sleep. I think it was right after that. Like, I literally was like dozing off, and then I saw myself. Got some sleep. It didn't help. I woke up. Felt awful. And then I started freaking out. And this would mark like a year and a half of crap in my life. And every day, every single day, man, there was not a single day for like a year where I didn't feel like I was like extremely like intoxicated. So I would look at things and they would start to move. I would, like, no joke. Like, if I focused on something, it would start to sway. I couldn't sleep. I was always so tired. I had no energy because I wasn't getting good sleep. And at the time, I had no idea what it was, and that was what was scary. I had no freaking clue that I was like, that it was Lyme disease. I had no idea what it was, and that's what made it even worse. Few months passed, getting pretty like, I thought there was a point where I was like, yeah, man, I might just die. Like, I might just die in my sleep.
Jeez.
And then it all dawned on me, like, dude, I haven't done anything in my life yet. Like, what is happening to me? Why can't I just be freaking normal? Yeah, man, I couldn't. I really had a tough time walking, actually, because everything would sway.
What did It's probably difficult to talk about, but what did a day in the life look like? What were you even able to do physically?
So luckily I was actually online. So I was taking online classes like that.
Okay.
So that was like a blessing, dude, because I don't think I would have been able to go to school. Normal day, man, wake up after probably going to sleep around 4 if I got lucky because I couldn't sleep. Wake up feeling awful. When I would try to stand up after sleeping, and I would literally have to get up like really, really slow, to like in like 2-minute increments so that I wouldn't throw up when I woke up. No joke. Or like feel like start to feel like the ground like literally meet the floor. I got that a bunch. And that's when the time like backtrack. They had put me on a bunch of medicine. Doxycycline. It's a very, very, very powerful antibiotic, and it kills everything.
So it's like chemo, but for...
I wouldn't say that far. But it does kill a lot of the good bacteria in your stomach that keeps you healthy. So luckily I didn't get sick. Like, if I would have gotten the flu, I might have been a goner, dude.
Yeah.
Because normally you take it in week, 2-week cycles. We tried that, didn't work, so they put me on it for like 3 months. And I looked like I hadn't eaten food in like a month, bro.
That's crazy.
I looked like I hadn't eaten food in a month, dude. I looked like hell.
Yeah.
And you can ask Ben, my brother. Around this time, man, everybody was thinking like, yeah, he might have cancer. I thought it too, because they didn't know. They didn't know what was going on, and neither did I. And then a few months passed. And then I go in to get MRIs. Went and had that done. Come back completely positive, completely clean. So nothing's wrong with me.
So at this point, you had no idea what was going on with you.
No idea, and that's what made it worse. Because I'm like, dude, I honestly wish that I would have known what was wrong with me at the time.
How did you find out it was Lyme disease?
So we had tests done around that time. And I'm in South Carolina, and Lyme disease is really not a thing because they don't have ticks. The whole 9 years that I was there, I saw one tick. One tick. If you're there for a day on Martha's Vineyard, you might see 5 if you go to the beach, right? So they don't know really how to deal with it. Doctors are very unfamiliar with it. And they had done tests on me, came back negative. My mom heard about a specific kind of Lyme disease that had just broken out of the vineyard called Lone Star, which is ultimately what I had. And I'll go into more detail on what it does to you, but she said, go ahead and test for that. After like a month of trying to figure out with doctors from here in Massachusetts, they're going back and forth, trying to figure out what it was. Turns out I did have that. It was like very, very minute, but it was there. Yeah. I was like, well, okay, well, that's what it was. And I didn't figure that out for a while. But when I did, it was a relief, but it was also like, well, I'm still in this state. I'm still freaking destroyed every day by this. And I feel horrendous. And then they ramped up the doxycycline even more. And it didn't do anything. And it actually just made me feel worse. Lost so much weight. I mean, I've always been a skinny dude, but, you know, you shouldn't be 110 pounds at 16. You know what I'm saying?
You're like 6 feet tall, right?
No, I'm, yeah, right at 5'11", yeah, so.
110 at 5'11".
Yeah.
Jeez.
And I'm playing hockey too, so that was the one thing.
Wait, so how are you able to play hockey?
Dude, I don't know.
When there's a will, there's a way.
There's a will, there's a way, dude. I was playing hockey, and I never talked about it. I never told people. On the team, my coaches, there would be times where I'd be skating down the ice, dude, and I literally would, like, just zone out. Like, there was times when I would look at people and they'd be moving, swaying, but I wanted to play so bad that I didn't tell anybody. They knew that I had Lyme disease, but I didn't want any sympathy for myself either. Like, at all. I didn't want any. I just wanted to be able to play, but I had no energy, so it was really tough doing it. Yeah. And I was playing up in Charleston at the time. But luckily, it wasn't as bad. Like, I did get used to it. I started to learn how to live like this. And people did get sick of me because I was always complaining about it to my family. But I was like, dude, I don't know what's wrong with me. You know, I want answers, but I'm not going to get any. It doesn't seem like. And then, yeah, man, it went on for like a year. A year, man. No energy. Couldn't do anything. Felt spaced out. And there was these times where I would have these, I call them like brain zaps. That's what people call them. Yeah. In the Lyme disease community, at least. And they would come and go. Like, I wouldn't have them for a month. I'd be fine. Then they would come in, and then sleep deprivation would set in.
What would, just a lot of us aren't really familiar with how that works. Can you kind of describe what brain zaps are like?
Yeah, man. So you're getting ready to fall asleep. You know that moment when you're getting ready to fall asleep and you can feel yourself just kind of start to doze off, and then imagine,
yeah.
Dude, imagine
I have those every once in a while.
Imagine that 100 times in a night. It feels like, you know those little Wrigley's old little things that you would take the gum thing and it would zap you?
No.
Dude, so there's these little pieces of gum, these like toy things that people would like, you'd be like, hey, you want a piece of gum? Then they would touch it and zap them. Oh,
I've heard of those, yeah.
Just like that.
Oh, that's crazy. No, I know what that is. Sometimes I get those every now and then. You're falling asleep and you just go like that. Like your whole body is shaking.
Exactly.
Just so you said that would happen like 100 times a night. That's crazy. And
there was one time, dude, I didn't sleep for 72 hours. So 3 days. So this had happened so many freaking times, and this was about a year in too when this happened. A year in. So I'm like, this isn't going away. That was rock bottom. I wanted to die. Like, I don't say that lightly. I've never wanted to ever hurt myself. I didn't want to hurt myself, but I wanted to freaking die. Because I thought after sleeping for 72 hours and I can't fall asleep and I'm sick, man, and I don't want to eat anything, and if I try to stand up, I feel awful, that I thought I was going to pass away in my sleep. So I really thought, like, after those 72 hours, like, yeah, I might I might not wake up. And then it started, and I had always knew of Jesus, but I didn't have a relationship. And I would pray before like hockey games. I would pray if somebody was going out, you know, on a trip, or like somebody was leaving the house, going somewhere. I would pray for them, but I didn't have a relationship myself.
It's like you knew of Christ, but you didn't know Christ, that type of thing.
Yeah, I knew of Christ, but I didn't know him. And I didn't know him for that whole year going up to this moment. And rock bottom, dude, I remember like, I think I don't have a complete recollection of it, but I do think that after that period, when I didn't sleep for that long, was when I remember, man, just being like, God, I can't do this anymore. I can't with this. Like, life sucks. This is going to be my life. It sucks. And I had been angry up until then. Like, God, please. Please. I'd prayed all the time, like, please just help me out. But I didn't have a relationship, man. And
No,
gosh.
I know we've talked about this before. You said this particular prayer was a little bit different than what you prayed before.
Yeah.
What exactly was different about this point in time?
So I'm at rock bottom, thinking I'm going to probably just pass away in my sleep. And I remember getting on my hands and knees, dude, on the corner of my bed. And I go, you know, Father, I am not asking for this to go away. I want a relationship with you. I want to know you. I want to know you. And I won't say that I didn't ask to be healed. Of course I did. I was like, Father, I want to be healed. I don't want to live like this anymore. But if I am going to be like this, then I at least want to know you. Because you can bring me peace. I'm at rock bottom. I have no other answer. You have to help me. I can't do it anymore. And I surrendered it all. I said, I can't do it anymore. My body's not strong enough. Whatever's tying me down, I'm not going to do it. I'm not strong enough as a man. I'm not strong enough to beat this. And
did you believe you were going to die?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And I don't want sympathy from anybody, dude, because it wasn't like, you know, you got people going through like cancer and stuff.
Yeah.
But I did feel like I was going to, because I couldn't sleep and I wasn't eating because I was on no sleep. I would stand up and I would almost throw up because I was like in such a state of like dizziness. I didn't even know who I was. Really, I didn't even know who I was, man. But at that moment, remember, Father, I cannot do this by myself anymore. I'm not strong enough to do it anymore. I need help. Can you help me? I just want a relationship, but can you please help me? I went to sleep, and I slept fine that night. And dude, I woke up that next day, bro. God, gosh, man, I woke up that next day, and I felt okay. I can't explain it. I felt okay. It wasn't completely gone, but I had felt better than I had in a full year.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. I still cannot explain it to this day. I can't. It was God.
Yeah.
God saved me. You know, like.
Were you aware of that in that moment? Did you even remember the prayer you prayed the night before? Was there a part of you that's like, I think God's trying to tell me something?
Yeah. I was like sitting there, man, woke up that next day, got up, and I walked around, and I hadn't realized something really hadn't changed yet. And so I finally looked, I'm like, dude.
I just walked around.
I'm like, I feel like I'm actually in a room right now instead of everything like closing on me. Yeah. Like I feel normal. I actually slept that night. What the heck?
Yeah.
I feel pretty good. I didn't feel great, but I felt pretty good. Like I'm still on all this medicine. I'm, you know.
Yeah. But you felt significantly better
dude.
the night before.
Dude, I felt like I was Superman the next day. Like literally. I felt like life again, dude. I felt pretty good, man. And from then on, I've been good.
That's crazy. So you said like Would it take like a week? Within about a week, you were pretty much fully recovered?
So I had some symptoms that were coming on, like they would come and go. But yeah, dude, it was like nothing I hadn't had before, so I could deal with it easier. And I think that the biggest change that actually happened was I had never understood anxiety until I went through this. God took away my anxiety, dude. I wasn't nervous anymore.
So you think that by taking away the anxiety, that was like 90% of the pressure just lifted right off of you?
Yeah, yep. It was that. It was like when my anxiety left, and my worry, and my like, I would have these like panic attacks pretty much.
Yeah.
When that went away is when everything changed. My whole life changed because God healed me, bro. God healed me. And I see it now as the biggest blessing that has ever happened in my entire life. Because a part of me thought, dude, I'm never going to be able to stop smoking.
Yeah.
Well, sure did that. Never touched that stuff in my life again. Never touched that stuff again. And gosh, it healed me, bro.
Do you think it was necessary for you to go through that?
Yeah, it was. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it was totally necessary. Maybe not to that extent, but it hardened me, bro. I feel like so I can't even put it into words, man. I have a lot better gratitude for every day where I feel good.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't for a whole year.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, you can really take life for granted. And sometimes it's stuff like that like that'll be with me my whole life. I will never forget that experience. Nothing can take that away from me. What it was like to be in that state and then surrender my life to Jesus and then it's gone. Nothing can take that away from me. Nothing. You know what I mean? Nobody can ever take that away from me, and I'll carry that with me for the rest of my life. And it has. And it's experiences like that which has given me like courage to get on the camera right now and not really care what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like not really care if people don't like what our message that we're trying to portray, like, because I want everybody to know, man, like, and there's people that are going through a lot worse stuff than I did, right?
Oh, of course.
But I want them to know that, like, dude, there is nothing in this entire world that God can't fix.
100%.
There's nothing.
Similar thing in my life. Not exactly what you went through, but very similar. And it's crazy. You're in that state and you think, that's it. My life isn't going to get any better. I'm going to live like this forever. I'm not going to be able to start a family. Not going to be able to pursue what I want to pursue in life. I'm not going to amount to anything. Yeah. And it's all a lie. It's like you're so convinced that things are not going to get any better, and then God shows up. It's what's interesting is I heard this analogy that we go through life like it's a maze. So if you look at a maze from a top-down view, right, there's like a little trail where you have to go through it. So I've heard this analogy that we go through life like a maze, where everywhere we turn, we end up hitting a wall, and we're just like struggling to navigate this thing, and we think there's no way out. We think, I'm going around in circles. Oh, there's another dead end. Oh, there's another wall. But God sees it from a top-down perspective, because God doesn't exist in time. So when we are thinking that it isn't going to get any better, we're thinking we're not going to amount to anything. We're thinking God doesn't have a purpose for my life. I don't have a purpose at all. We're saying that because we hit a few walls in a row, but God sees everything from a top-down perspective. And if you trust him and you follow his directions on which way to turn, he'll get you to the other side, because he can see a future in your life that you can't, because he's coming at it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that God wants to use everybody. God has a purpose for everybody.
For everybody. And if you're listening and you don't think you have a purpose, dude, man, I've been there. I'm finding it now. Like, everybody's got a purpose. Everybody on this earth, no matter what kind of circumstance you're in, no matter what you believe about yourself, God put you here on this earth for a reason. And life is good, man. No matter how bad life is, God put you here for a reason. And the only thing that the devil can do is try to convince you that you're not here for a reason.
Because he can't actually take that purpose from you.
He can't.
He can't actually shut you down. He can just convince you to I heard this from George Janko. He can't steal what you have, but he can convince you to give it up. Or he can convince you that you don't have it to begin with.
It's a lie. Gosh,
Yeah.
it's a lie. It's not real, man. It's not real. It just takes some experiences like I had. I wanted to briefly touch on this. Luke chapter 14, verse 11. Those who exalt themselves will be humbled, but those who humble themselves will be exalted. And in that period of my life, when that had happened to me, I didn't humble myself, but I was humbled. And now I'm at this, like, it's such a blessing to be able to look back on it, because, like, I'm like, dude, well, what am I worrying about? What am I worrying about what's going on in the world right now? When I was at that state, and look where I'm at now, dude. The journey's just started, but
Yeah.
pretty good, pretty blessed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you went from being in a situation where you thought you were going to die to sitting in front of a camera talking about your experience.
Trying to help some other people that might be feeling like this, man.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Hitting the gym almost every day of the week,
Yeah.
and just going after your goals. And there was a time where you thought that you weren't going to be able to leave your bedroom pretty much. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I literally thought I wasn't going to be able to leave my bedroom for, like, ever.
Yeah.
And the times I did, I felt terrible. And I felt hard to, like, connect to other people as well. But now it's like, it's easy. Easy, I say easy. No, it's not easy.
Yeah.
But it's coming easier. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, man. It's a beautiful thing when that can happen. I got a question for you, man. For the both of us, really, and I guess it's talking in third party to the person who might be listening to this. What would you tell them right now, bro, if somebody's going through something that's like they're worried about anything? It could be anything. It could be the worst thing you think of. What would you tell them?
I think exactly what I said before. That from our perspective, we're navigating life like a maze, right? So you hit 5 brick walls in a row and you assume it's over, right? But God, looking at it from a top-down perspective, can see something that you can't. That's pretty much the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been there myself, not necessarily with Lyme disease, but with mental illness. I've been there where I think that my life is not going to get any better. I think this is it. This is as good as my life is going to get, and it sucks, right? Like it's just going to be downhill from here. And I resented God for it, same way you did. I was mad at him, and I was so convinced that this is it. And it turned out I was wrong.
Yeah.
So I would just say, like, put your trust in God, humble yourself, and trust that this verse in the Bible I love. It says, "He who began a good work in you will complete it by the day of Christ." Something to that effect. I don't remember the exact words, but God has every person on this planet for a reason.
Absolutely.
And if you think you're an exception, as someone who thought he was an exception, and Jackson, I think you thought you were an exception at one point.
Absolutely.
You're not, right? You're not a special snowflake. You're also here for a reason too. So
Yeah. Yeah, of course, man.
What about you?
I would say that the enemy will try to pull tricks on you every single day. And somebody who's going through a tough time, it's almost like I look at it as like the barrier before something good starts happening. And not even just in my experience, like everything. Like I've noticed that a lot. Like when you're doing something good, and then you get just something pops up. It can be anything, it can be something stupid, but it really nags on you. Or it could be something not still stupid, something crazy. Man, it's just the enemy trying to get to you, man. Because it is spiritual warfare out here in this world, dude. Every day. Every single day it is. And what has helped me in any period of my life where I'm feeling worried about something or something's not going too right, or maybe I'm getting tempted by this and tempted by that. Like, I don't know, it could be anything. That right in that moment, it's like, dude, this is the sign that something good's about to start happening. This is the sign that I'm about to change somebody's life. That I'm going to change my own life. That I could make a difference in somebody else for the greater good. Mm-hmm. So it's like, ooh, man, let that make you excited. Because the devil isn't going to tempt anybody who's not making a difference. Mm-hmm. Now, everybody in this world has the power to make a big difference. So that's why everybody gets tempted.
Yeah.
Right? So.
You'll notice it too whenever you do something, you know, whenever you try to take a big leap and you try to do something important and you try to make a difference, you're going to be met with resistance.
Of course.
And a lot of times, as long as you are doing everything that God commands you to do, a lot of times that resistance is a sign you're on the right track. Obviously, if you're doing something that's objectively stupid, like if you're driving your car at 100 miles an hour drunk, that's not a good idea. But if you're doing what God asks you to do, and you are following Christ's plan for your life, expect resistance. That's something that we've learned. We learned to starting this podcast, right?
Oh yeah.
Didn't take very long, and we got like 2 viewers. It didn't take long, but we've also had people that are leaving comments saying that they felt like the message came from God. We've had literally people saying, I felt like God was speaking to me. I felt like this was God's timing. Keep doing what you're doing. This really hit me, this message. And that's what it's about.
Yeah. And this is why we're doing it.
Right.
Like, we can't do this. We can't sit up here on this and talk about, mumbo jumbo if we didn't put God in the middle of this.
Yeah. Of course.
Can't do it alone, man. We can't do anything alone. And man, I can't stress it enough. I just want everybody to know that, like, when hard times come, man, see that as a blessing. See it as a blessing. Because something good is getting ready to start happening. Something good is really about to start happening. I would also say that what really moved the needle in my life on everything was coming to the realization that I have a creator and he's my father. He wants the best for me. And he wants a relationship with me. And when I can open up to that, is when my life changed. Fully. Because I've been praying, God, please make this go away. I feel sick. I can't do this anymore. But then when I decided, God, I just actually want a relationship with you. Because I'm going to see you one day. And at that moment, I thought it could have been soon.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be soon for me, bro.
And it could be.
Could be.
And the thing, sometimes people do pray and sometimes people don't come out of it. It is a sobering reality. I mean, there are people that don't get healed. And it's one of the biggest wrestles we have. I don't know if you have an explanation for it. One of the things that I have trouble with is, like, why do some people not get healed? The answer, genuinely, I don't know. I don't know why some people stay stuck in that situation, even when they have faith. But what I do know is that this world is obviously not right. There's obviously this world is broken, it's fallen. No matter what, whether God pulls you out of the situation or, the worst happens, either way, God ultimately wins in the end, and you ultimately win because you're on his side. You end up in a relationship with Christ. You end up either, it's like what happened, what's the word for it? Like, one way or another, God wins in the end.
Absolutely.
And I think that the fact that you're still here, the fact that even if you think you're going through the worst time right now, even if you think that you are seriously going through it, God ultimately has you on this planet for a reason. There's ultimately a purpose for it.
I think that's the best thing he could have said.
Yeah.
Because that covers everything. If you're still here today, then God's got you here for a reason. And it's a good reason, man. It's a beautiful reason. It's just hard for us to see it because we don't know it.
Mm.
It's even hard for us to see it when it is happening because we're just human.
Yeah.
We're just human.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I would say that people that aren't being healed, and I know it's different from everybody, but when you see somebody who hasn't necessarily been healed, but they're still in their faith, gosh.
Yeah.
Gosh, man. You know, that's faith right there, man. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, that's faith. And those people that haven't been healed yet, and something that they've been asking and asking and asking, they've done more good by people seeing them in their faith still than if they would have been healed, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's like a testimony, like, wow, man. Those people are going to love God no matter what. Because when we do pass away, everything will be good.
Mm.
Nothing will be wrong. There won't be any sickness. There won't be any death. There won't be any problems anymore. And we are here on this earth to establish the kingdom of God on this planet.
We are.
To battle evil.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people, I do see this a lot with Christians, and I totally understand where they're coming from. A lot of people are looking at the gospel as an exit ticket, like a get out of jail free card. Oh, I can't wait till this life is over. I can't wait till we can just get out of here. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I understand that, but I also think that it's our responsibility as followers of Christ to make the world a better place, to step in the ring with evil and fight hand to hand.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
true.
Yep.
Because like I said, if ultimately we win in the end, if Christians get massacred, just like what's going on in Africa right now, horrible. They've killed somewhere between 7,000 and 12,000. I think some estimates said 20. They've killed a lot of people in Africa, a lot of Christians. Videos of them firing into a crowd. It's brutal. You know, as tragic as it is, those people are with the Lord now. And no matter what happens, even if you die, even if the worst happens, one way or another, we all end up with God.
Yes.
One way or another, we always end up back in His arms.
Yes.
Eventually, when He comes back, you know, this whole planet's going to be reconciled to Him. But in the meantime, you know, if you're still here and you're still struggling, you're still going through it, if you're still alive right now, God has a reason for you to be here. Don't quit.
God has a reason.
Don't give up. Because there's eventually, like I said, you might think like that's it, it's over. Like there's no hope for me. But it's incredible what He can do in somebody's life where they think they have no hope. Jackson, I think you know that better than anybody.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, you had something that in a lot of cases is terminal. That was this life-altering disease. And it just literally you were cured in a week?
About that, yeah. Isn't that wild?
That is wild.
Isn't that freaking wild? Gosh. Man, just surrendering your life to God and just wanting a relationship. There's a lot, like your life can really change if you haven't opened up for a relationship.
Mm. And that's the difference too. Like
it's the relationship.
It's one thing to ask Him. It's another thing to genuinely open yourself up to Him.
Yeah. 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 I wish that there was we could make a whole episode just on that. What that's like. Even though me and John are not the most well-versed in the Bible, we're not the most well-versed in, not much yet. We're still pretty young, but
we're very well-versed in the concept. Both of us are very well-versed in the idea that God can bring you out of a situation that seems totally hopeless and turn it into something you couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, dude.
That's what we're well versed in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And a lot of the people around us say the same thing.
Yeah. And it's, like, I look at it like, what happens if I would have just gave up on everything? If this helps one person, would I be helping you?
Right.
Even the people that we've already, I'd like to say, have helped. Will we been able to do that, man?
No.
No.
Same thing with me.
Yeah. And we'll get it. We're gonna have an episode on John's.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the greasy details.
The grease, man. The grease. The grease. But
It's pretty brutal. But
I just need you to know, like, dude, there is nothing on this planet that you can be going through right now that if you're still alive right now can outweigh anything that God's got ready for you in your life.
right.
There's nothing. Because you're here for a reason. You're put on this planet to make change. So just know that. And we love you. We
Right.
love you. We don't know you personally. Maybe we do. But we love you.
We do love you. And what you said earlier about making change reminds me of something that our pastor said. This was before AI was like a really popular thing. But apparently a group of people, I think at MIT, they ran the Gospels through a supercomputer. And they said in the simplest terms possible, explain why Jesus came to earth. And you think that they'd say something like to die for our sins, to restore humanity to God.
Yeah.
What they said was something very interesting. Do you know what the response was?
No.
It said to establish a kingdom.
Dude.
So going back to what we were saying earlier about being here for a reason, that is the reason that we're here. When Revelation describes it's the kingdom of God, I think it's Revelation 21:4. They talk about the idea that there's no more crying, that there's no more pain, there's no more suffering. Although this world is in a terrible situation, again, like I was alluding to earlier, I understand that a lot of Christians will take that message to mean, well, we're cooked. Can't wait to get to heaven someday. Get me out of here. But I think that our job as ambassadors of Christ, as basically representatives of the kingdom of God, we are here to make this world like the kingdom of God. We are here to make a change in this world and kind of just you picture some big black curtain, some big veil over it that's making the world dark and covering it from the light. We're here to punch straight through that thing. We're here to punch straight through that thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to open it up and be that light. Because even if you're in a completely dark room and you flick a lighter, you'd be surprised to see how much a little light can do to a dark room.
God, dude, I love that.
And it's crazy because, like I said, the devil will convince you. He'll do anything in the freaking world to convince you that this is it. Your life isn't getting any better. I'm going to take you right out of the fight. And it's a total lie. Even what happened with Charlie Kirk. He actually did die. He was not healed. He didn't make it. But he's ultimately with Jesus. And there's a whole lot of other people that are going to be with Jesus now afterwards. Because you look at the impact that spread
Oh, yeah.
to pretty much all of humanity, not even just the U.S., all over the world. This revival broke out. So ultimately, God wins in the end.
God wins in the end.
And as long as the devil can convince you that he isn't, that's how he can get you.
That's the only way he can get you.
The only way.
It's the only way. And the people that he attacks the most are usually the guys that are there to do the most change. And he knows it.
Exactly.
He'll try to freaking get his grips on anybody that's going to do something in this world and try to put him in this ball and make him know that, oh, you're nothing, that you're going through all this crap. There's nothing more to life. You might as well take it. Dude. He's a schemy little mug, man. He will lie. He will lie because he knows you're meant for more. And he knows that you're going to change the freaking world. And he doesn't like that.
Yeah.
He doesn't like that. So God loves you. God's our Father.
Yeah.
And I know if you haven't come to Christ, it's you're probably looking, we're on the inside here. No, because we weren't.
Right.
At least I wasn't. I wasn't for a while. But the beautiful thing about the kingdom of God and about Christ is that there's always, no matter what you have done, there's always an open door for anybody. It's never going to be closed, and it ever will not be slammed on anybody trying to get in. So
100%.
Yeah, man.
It's really interesting too, because it's kind of a surreal feeling to wake up and realize this is like real. A lot of it does sound like theory, like it's up in the air. I think with you, that Lyme disease story, that's when it became real to you, where you're like, okay, this is actually affecting the physical world. Like, there's something here. They say in the Bible that the angels rejoice when somebody gives their life to Christ. What's so crazy something that's so crazy that I've seen with my own life and the lives of other people is that when you follow Christ, it's like you're not just reaching out to God, it's like he's responding back to you. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that everybody has a miraculous experience. I know there are some people that don't, but I remember back when I was 11 years old, this is kind of the point where I had grown up Christian, but it wasn't really something that I took very seriously. I guess like we kind of stopped going to church. Parents didn't really care. You know how it is. I'm sure like a lot of people go through something like that. You did.
Yep.
Pretty much everybody we know went through it at some point. Especially what did Mike say in the last episode? Kids basically have to be forced to go to church.
Yeah.
But I remember that it's like my faith wasn't really my own, right? And I remember going to a special event, like a youth event, and they had two events going on. There was one in the morning, one at night, and I went to the one at night. They had a guest speaker coming in. The only reason I went was because they had two guys that I think were former NFL players, and they would do these crazy things on stage, like smashing soda cans against their head with the soda in it, ripping up phone books, or I think they even crushed one of those like tin cans. They like ripped it open or something. I don't remember exactly what they did, but it was crazy. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll go. This sounds pretty fun. So my brother brought me. And I don't remember what the speaker said. Something he said really just got me. And at the very beginning of the sermon, he said that God had spoken to him that morning and told him that 5 people were going to give their lives to Christ. Now, I went to the evening service, so they had a morning one, and he said that 3 people already did. So if you do the math, very simple calculation, according to literally God himself, as the speaker was claiming, 2 people were going to give their lives to Christ that night. So at the end of the service, they did an altar call. He said, anybody who wants to give their life to Christ, raise your hand. And I'm thinking, I'm good, man. I grew up Christian parents. Like I was baptized when I was like 7, right? I'm good, man. I don't got anything to worry about. But there was a part of me that knew that my faith wasn't my own. And something was telling me that. It was almost like something outside myself that was like, you're not right. You need to do this. You got to give your life to Christ. And I'm thinking, no, I'm fine. And the more I would ignore it, the louder that it wasn't like an audible voice, but it was like this conviction. And the stronger that conviction would get, to the point where I basically couldn't ignore it. It's almost like I didn't have a choice. I technically had a choice, but it was not. I couldn't ignore it.
It's that love, man.
Yeah, it was something drawing me in.
Love, man.
It was just like urging me, like, you really got to do this. So eventually we got our heads are bowed, eyes are closed. I raised my hand, and then the speaker does something diabolical. He pulls a freaking switcheroo. So if you've ever been to church and you've ever been to those altar calls, you know how they have you bow your head, they close your eyes, nobody's looking around. That way no one's like judging you if you haven't given your life to Christ or whatever. Of course, I'm coming in there as a Christian, so I don't want people to know. So I'm kind of embarrassed, like, okay, I'll raise my hand. And then he's like, if you just raised your hand, come up to the front of the room right now. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not doing this. This is what I signed up for. And I'm sitting there in my seat, and he's waiting because he saw me raise my hand. I'm procrastinating on it. And he's like, he says to the crowd, he says, he says, when they come up, I want you to cheer them on. And now I'm thinking, okay, great. There's going to be a whole crowd of people that are all standing up. They're going to watch me go to the front of this freaking room. I'm not doing this, man. And then he says something I'll never forget for the rest of my life. He said, if you can't stand in front of a crowd full of people who are cheering you on and clapping, how are you going to stand for Christ in front of a world that hates you? That hit me like a ton of bricks. And I'm like, after that, I got to go up now. And I did. I told my brother, I'm like, hey, I just gave my life to Christ. I just raised my hand. And then my brother's like, oh, you did great. And he pushes me out in the aisle. Like literally shoved me out in the aisle. So I go up there. I pray the prayer. Sure, we've all prayed that prayer before. If you're a Christian, you're watching this. And I look up and I see one person standing next to me. And you think about what he said an hour and a half earlier when the service started. God spoke to him that morning and said that through those services, 5 people would give their lives to Christ. He said that 3 already did that morning. This was all covered like about an hour ago. So we went over all of this. The very beginning, as soon as he gets up there, that's what he says. God spoke to me, said 5 people are going to give their lives to Christ. 3 already did this morning, which means that based on what God told me this morning, we will have 2 people giving their lives to Christ. That's beyond a shadow of a doubt. I know that will happen. And then an hour later, I had no idea I was going to be one of those 2 people.
Gosh.
But that's what really hit me about that. Not only is it just crazy that he like literally predicted the future, but the fact that whenever I doubt my faith, I always go back to that event. Always. That's the one thing. And you ever get those nagging thoughts? Like, I swear the devil's he's like a little ankle biter, like a little chihuahua.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's always running up behind you, trying to like nag you. And whenever I get those thoughts of doubt, I always think to myself, I always go back to that event. And I think not only did I just literally witness a miracle and I was part of it unknowingly, God literally just told me that day that there was a place in his kingdom for me.
Gosh, dude.
And there's a place in his kingdom for every one of us. So we think that like, you know, you have these people that are making a difference in the world, and I'm just John, right? I'm just catching a free ticket to heaven, and someday we're gonna get out of this miserable crap hole,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna, you know, you got guys like Billy Graham, you got guys that are out there making a difference in the world, you got guys that are really like Christ has a purpose for them, and I'm just kind of like tagging along for the ride, you know? I'm just like. I'm just John. I'm just Jackson. Like we're just on our way to heaven too, and we're not really supposed to be there in the first place. But God's like, all right, I guess. But hearing, you know, that message and seeing what happened, and the fact that God literally communicated that to the speaker that morning, I believe that he was trying to speak to me through that man. And he was saying, there is a place for you on the kingdom. It's like on a hockey team. I'm not super familiar with hockey. How many people are on the rink? Is it 5?
So 5 plus goalie.
Okay, so pretty much 6 people on the rink. So there is a position for you in the rink. You're not sitting on the sidelines. A lot of people,
unless you're dust. I'm kidding.
But it's like a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines, and I always go back to that verse where he says, "He who began a good work in you will complete it until the day of Christ." Throughout our lives, we're being constantly sanctified. God is constantly working on our hearts. I had a friend who's a Muslim who asked me a very, very interesting question. It was a very tough question. And I actually had to give it some thought because I hadn't really been asked a question like this before. A lot of religions, including Islam, they believe in like kind of a reward punishment system. So you do something bad, you get punished at the end of your life. And you get punished more depending on how much bad stuff you did. And then you get punished less depending on how much good stuff you did. Does that kind of make sense?
Right.
Pretty straightforward.
Right.
She said, if there's no punishment in Christianity, obviously we don't believe in like purgatory. We're Protestants. We don't believe in purgatory or anything like that. If there's no punishment in Christianity, what's to stop a Christian from just running wild and doing some degenerate things if they know they're going to go to heaven? I had to really think about that one. Like, I had to really think about that because I'm like, yeah, what causes people to change? Because on the one hand, she has a point. On the other hand, when you look at the people around us, like you look at the young adults group, when you look at people in our church, They have some of the most transformed lives I've ever seen, and they didn't need any external motivation. They didn't need any punishment. They didn't really need any hope of a reward. So it's like, you know that clip from Oppenheimer where he goes, it's paradoxical and yet it works?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like, in a weird way, despite the fact that these people have absolutely no, I guess, incentive to become better people, they have some of the most transformed lives we've ever seen, coming from the worst situations.
Right.
Why is that? And that took me a minute, and I realized what it is. Number one, remember what you said earlier about appreciating life? We take life for granted.
Yes.
People that have come from horrible pasts where they've been in alcoholism, they've been victims of abuse, maybe they've been abusers themselves. They've gone through Lyme disease, mental illnesses,
cancer,
whatever the issue was.
Yeah.
People that have been through that and come out the other end and know that, especially if it was a sinful habit they were in, and knowing that God cured them of that, and they're now, God still loves them anyway, like you said about having a loving father, as opposed to having like a taskmaster. People respond to that. If you love your mom, you're not going to go around doing things that break her heart. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's that the people that love God and have a genuine relationship with God, they change because they genuinely want to. And in addition to that, even if there's temptation you're struggling with, or there's some kind of sin or something going on in your life, God can heal you from that.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit can convict you. Christ can heal you. You're like your story is not over. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So when you have God continually working on you, which is exactly what the Bible says, and you have a real, genuine relationship with him and you love him, you will be able to do incredible things that you never even thought were possible. And you can do that without any extrinsic motivation. You can do that without any fear of punishment or without any hope of reward. You can have a genuine change in your life, because the difference between Christ and every other religion to ever exist, pretty much, is this is the way my pastor said it, which is awesome. He said, religion says change and then you can follow us. Christ says follow me and you will change.
Gosh.
You should have been there for that sermon. It was awesome.
I love that.
But it's like, you can think my life isn't going to get any better, or I'm never going to put this stuff down. I'm never going to get rid of this addiction. But if you humble yourself and you turn to him and you say, God, I need help. In the name of Jesus, please take this away from me. I want to dedicate my life to you. I don't want to live for myself anymore. I want to live for you, and I want you to give me the tools. I want you to give me the tools that I need to do that. I want you to be directing the steps for my life. Because I always notice that whenever I'm in situations where I'm trying to take the reins over my own life and I'm trying to figure everything out on my own, and I stop reading my Bible, I stop praying, and I get wrapped up in whatever, even if it's just work.
Yeah.
Right? Not even necessarily something unhealthy.
Yeah.
But it usually ends up leading to things that are unhealthy. I usually end up picking up unhealthy habits.
Yeah,
I end up becoming miserable.
My old stuff starts coming back. Really?
Yeah.
Dude, it's not Lyme disease, it's like the anxiety and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah. It's because I'm not doing the right things. I'm not putting God right in the middle of it.
It's hitting the brick wall over and over and over again, because you're walking through a maze rather than trusting the one who can see the maze from a top-down view and already has the path highlighted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I want to tie into what you're saying, but I want to make sure that if you're watching this, Christ did not come for people that have been living perfect lives. The beautiful thing about having a relationship with Christ is you don't have to be perfect to follow him. You can be doing all the stuff that you're doing right now, and you can say, Jesus, I'll follow you. And man, I promise you, your heart will change. And
you'll notice that over time, as long as you maintain that relationship with him, you're not even going to want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Your friend's going to text you, hey man, want to go out you want to go out tomorrow night? Want to get friggin' slammed?
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, Not really.
Yeah, not really.
And it won't happen instantly. Sometimes it happens instantly, but sometimes it doesn't. But over time, as long as you're willing to follow him, and as long as you have a genuine willingness in your heart to change and to live the life that he wants you to live, and you have that connection with him, and you ask God to literally work on your heart, like literally change my heart, and you stay true to that, you'll be amazed to see how much your life is going to change.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not just speaking from my own experience. Jackson's not just speaking from his experience. We have a whole bunch of people.
And everybody, like we could have this whole room filled with people, and they would tell, in other words, they would say the same different things.
Yeah.
Same things.
Yeah. So many people that came out of drugs, alcoholism, hookup culture, party lifestyle. Mm-hmm. People that came in from depression, from thinking about taking their own life. I was there too at one point. And it's crazy how, like I said before, you think your life is over, you think this is it, not going to get any better, it's just going to be downhill from here, and I might as well quit while I'm ahead, basically. As bluntly as that sounds, that's pretty much the simplest way I can put it. And it's a lie from the pit of hell.
And then boom!
God shows up.
Boom, dude. Your life has changed. Just like that. Right. And you're like, well, this is crazy.
Right.
What is happening to me right now? Why do I feel like I probably shouldn't be going out drinking anymore? That's weird. That's just kind of how it feels like. You know?
I'm feeling tempted to go onto that website. I'm feeling tempted to open up my explore page on social media that's full of half-naked girls, but something's telling me I shouldn't do that. What's telling me I shouldn't do that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
That's God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, this has been a good one. I really hope somebody watching this just know it's you're never too far broken. Mm-hmm. Never.
And if you don't believe us yet, we got a whole bunch of guests coming down the pike that are gonna tell you guys some
good stuff. And if you are watching this and you want to be a guest, feel free to hit us up. We are trying to look to get more people on, and get this thing going, change some lives, help a lot of people. This is episode 4. If you don't know, episodes come out every week, so we release Saturdays. Hopefully we're gonna try to get some more guests on that are just gonna keep coming up, and then the Ella Malding episode is episode 20. Not yet, but that'll be good. Got to speak it into existence, but yeah.
That would be crazy if that actually happened.
No, man, yeah, that would be cool. But any last remarks that you'd say to anybody, man?
I don't think so. I mean, like we said on last time, hit us up. Not just if you want to be a guest, but if you're struggling with something. We talked to a couple people that had some struggles.
Yeah, hit us up about anything, anything. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, X at some point, and then just send us a DM, and we'll give you a call. Anything, really, anything. It's we're just here to help.
It's really our mission to just change the world for Christ.
Yeah,
and it's crazy because both of us sitting here were pretty much on the knife's edge of not even sitting here at all. There is pretty much a 50-50 chance at one point in both of our lives that that these two chairs would be empty. Mm-hmm. And we're here.
Good night. Yeah.
And it's crazy to think about, but it's true. So, like we said before, you think that nothing's going to get better. You think your life is over. It's not. And ultimately, if you're still here, if you're still watching this video, God has you here for a reason. And as your life progresses, you're going to see that reason come to fruition over time, because there is a unique imprint that he wants you to make on the world, whether it's a large impact on a small amount of people, a small impact on a large amount of people, or a large impact on a large amount of people. One way or another, everybody has a place in the kingdom. Just like that speaker communicated about the 5 people giving their lives to Christ. God handpicked me. God handpicked pretty much everybody. God has a plan for everybody. And at the end of the day, you just have to trust him and not give up hope.
Yeah. I love that. Not give up hope.
Because he has a place for every single person in his kingdom.
Yep.
There's nobody left out.
Yep. No matter what it is, don't give up hope. And don't fall into this lie that you weren't here for a purpose, because you are. And Christ can renew you at any point in your life. The door is always open. Again, door's always open to us. You can give us a call.
Well, it'll be open until we hit like 1 mil, and then it's gonna be tough.
No, and then we'll still be calling. Let's be honest here.
We're gonna need a call center.
Yeah,
we'll be dialing one of those call-in radio shows.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and yeah, if anybody has any questions that they might want answered, we're gonna probably try to do a video when we get a bunch together.
Yeah.
Of people asking some questions. We'll write it down. We'll pull it up in the video, and anything. Make them good. If you like this content, we appreciate you subscribing to the channel. It really helps us out, get this message out to even more people, people that Lord knows needs to hear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was there too. So, man, thank you guys so much for listening. John, thank you so much, bro. It's been fun.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. This is a blessing. This has been The Pursuit of Purpose, episode 4. All right. God bless. Thank you, guys.